Oh, well, this is exciting. Earlier today, we're being told tourists and National Trust rangers saw the legendary Finn disappear into a magical doorway within the rock face here at the Giant's Causeway.
A drone hovers above the northern Irish coast, capturing footage that was never meant to be seen. The Giant's Causeway stretches below its hexagonal basalt columns rising from the earth like the broken spine of some ancient giant. Tourists snap photos. Waves crash against the rocks. Everything appears normal. Then the stone moves.
Look, look.
A massive slab of basalt shifts outward in a slow, deliberate motion. Behind it, darkness. A chamber that should not exist opens for exactly 11 seconds before the rock slides back into place, sealing itself as though nothing happened. The tourists felt the ground tremble beneath their feet. The drone captured everything. And when investigators finally analyzed what that camera recorded, what they found inside that hidden cavity would haunt them for the rest of their careers.
Well, earlier today, tourists, historians, geologists, architects, and giant experts all congregated here and have been examining the rock face to see if there is indeed any sign of Finn McCool, that legendary and magical giant.
But this is not just about Ireland. From the cliffs of Turkey to the forests of Scotland, from the depths of Kentucky to the underwater graves of Malaysia, the earth is hiding. Things sealed chambers, unexplained remains, doors that open and close on their own. And some of these secrets are starting to surface.
This is one of Northern Ireland's most remarkable and popular sites, a place of science and mythology. People flock each year to see the Giant's Causeway.
The door that breathes. The Giant's Causeway has drawn visitors for centuries. The ancient Irish believed it was built by the giant Finn McCool. Scientists say volcanic activity created it 60 million years ago. But neither legend nor science prepared anyone for what happened that afternoon. The tourist who launched the drone was simply trying to get a better angle. As the camera hovered near a tall section of interlocking pillars, one slab of stone began to move. Not crumble, not collapse. Move outward, controlled, as if something behind it was pushing through. Several witnesses on the ground saw the same thing. Before anyone could react, the slab slid back into place. The rock sealed itself. When investigators examined the footage frame by frame, there was no gap, no crack, no evidence that anything had ever opened at all. Then came the sonar sweep.
The wonderful hexagonal stones and the beauty of the story behind the causeway. The legend says that the great giant Finn McCool built this causeway across to Scotland to fight with one of his great rivals.
The chamber behind that basalt door was not empty. The scan revealed several tall, upright forms standing inside the hollow space. Their outlines were narrow, steady. They looked like human bodies, but they were far taller than any known population, ancient or modern. The figures stood in an even line, spaced at exact intervals, as if they had been deliberately placed there. One geologist who reviewed the scans admitted something disturbing. Basalt does not naturally form around objects, music, in perfect upright positions unless those objects were already standing in place before the rock hardened. Another expert noted signs of rapid cooling inside the chamber, suggesting these figures may have been trapped during a sudden volcanic event thousands of years ago. Anyone standing inside at that moment would have been sealed in when the molten rock cooled and hardened around them.
Approximately 65 million years ago, cracks in the Earth's crust, lava starts to pour out. It allows it to form into very regular shapes, and the reason it forms into very regular shapes is the rock is basalt.
But here is what kept researchers awake at night. Sensors placed near the chamber detected faint vibrations behind the rock wall. The movement passed through the stone in a slow, repeating pattern. Some believed it was pressure shifts. Others were not so sure. Authorities denied everything. They refused to release the sonar images. They claimed the basalt door was a natural illusion and insisted no internal chamber existed. And then, quietly, they restricted the access to the exact section of the formation where the opening had appeared. Whatever stands inside that chamber has been there for millennia. But the stone door still moves, and that raises a question no one wants to answer. What if those figures are not as still as they appear?
But there was the unmistakable sound of snoring coming from within the mountain. That's right, snoring from within the mountain. So it would seem possibly plausible that the legendary and mythical giant Finn McCool is indeed sleeping within the mountain here.
Pyramid. No one was meant to find. People expect pyramids in Egypt. They expect them in Mexico. No one one expects to find one hidden deep in the Scottish Highlands. Yet there it stands, a 41-foot granite pyramid, perfect in shape, rising from a hill inside the Balmoral estate. No roads lead to it. No signs mark its location. You must walk through thick forest and uneven ground just to reach it. And when you finally arrive, something feels deeply wrong. Queen Victoria ordered this pyramid built in 1861 after the death of her husband, Prince Albert. Her grief consumed her. She wore black for the rest of her life. She demanded his belongings remain untouched. She forced the entire palace into permanent mourning. When someone reaches that level of obsession, you have to wonder what she truly wanted from this structure. This granite pyramid was commissioned by Queen Victoria to honor the memory of her beloved husband after he passed away on December 14, 1861. 10 stone cairns surround the pyramid. Cairns are ancient markers usually placed to indicate burial sites or territorial boundaries. But researchers studying old maps discovered something unsettling. The cairns around the pyramid appear to follow a pattern that no official record mentions. Some say they align with the sunrise during specific times of the year, a detail that appears in ancient ritual sites, not Victorian memorials. Visitors report that the area around the pyramid feels unnaturally cold, even during warm seasons. Hikers have claimed their compasses spin in circles near the top of the structure.
This granite pyramid was commissioned by Queen Victoria to honour the memory of her beloved husband after he passed away on December 14th, 1861.
10 stone cairns surround the pyramid. Cairns are ancient markers usually placed to indicate burial sites or territorial boundaries. But researchers studying old maps discovered something unsettling. The cairns around the pyramid appear to follow a pattern that no official record mentions. Some say they align with the sunrise during specific times of the year, a detail that appears in ancient ritual sites, not Victorian memorials. Visitors report that the area around the pyramid feels unnaturally cold, even during warm seasons. Hikers have claimed their compasses spin in circles near the top of the structure. Compass failure occurs around strong magnetic fields, which has led some to believe the pyramid may contain materials that interact with magnetic readings. No official investigation has ever explained these reports. The structure remains in perfect condition after more than 150 years of harsh highland weather. Granite normally aridus and cracks under constant rain and cold. Yet, this pyramid shows almost no wear. Geologists who have examined it say the stone appears unusually resistant, as though construction methods were used that surpass typical Victorian masonry. Many who visit say they felt washed while standing near it. Queen Victoria built this pyramid while drowning in grief. Whatever she wanted from it, she took that secret to her grave, and the pyramid still waits in the forest, silent, perfect, and unexplained.
So, unlike the pyramids of Egypt, which come with conspiracy theories on how they were built and made, this is a lot more straightforward than that. So this was put up here in the 1860s, I think 1862, commissioned by Queen Victoria, because Prince Albert, her husband, died.
So unlike the pyramids of Egypt, which come with conspiracy theories on how they were built and made, this is a lot more straightforward than that. So this was put up here in the 1860s, I think 1862, commissioned by Queen Victoria because Prince Albert, her husband, died. The tombs that sealed themselves from the inside. The cliffs of Mira rise in sharp walls of ancient stone, and every surface contains openings that look like windows. From a distance, they resemble an abandoned village built into the mountainside. But these are not houses. They are tombs. The ancient Lycians carved these chambers into the rock more than 2,000 years ago. They believed the soul needed a proper residence after death. So they created entire cliffside neighborhoods for the dead, complete with balconies, pillars, and painted chambers. The most disturbing structure is the Lion Tomb. Inside stand 11 life-size stone figures carefully positioned with their carved eyes facing the sarcophagus. Archaeologists believe they represent the family of the deceased, but darker theories suggest these statues may represent attendants who were sacrificed to accompany the tomb owner into the afterlife.
Each grave is for a different person, and as you look at the grave, if you know the history, you will find out that a different grave for a different status of the person who is inside it.
And as you look at the grave, if you know the history, you will find out that the different grave for a different status of the person who is inside it. What makes Myra truly terrifying lies deeper inside the necropolis. Several tomb entrances show signs that they were resealed from the inside. This is a rare and frightening detail because no one can explain why someone inside a sealed tomb would try to break out. There are also scorch marks on walls and chambers that were sealed for centuries. Fire requires oxygen. These tombs had none, yet something burned inside them. Radiation readings near several tombs are higher than expected for natural rock. The cause has never been explained. And the Church of St. Nicholas sits directly below the necropolis, which means Christian worship has taken place for centuries beneath a massive field of ancient dead. Whatever happened inside those chambers, the people who sealed them never wanted anyone to know.
Dated to the 4th or 5th century BC, this splendid necropolis, known as the Sea Necropolis, was designed to resemble a vibrant city.
Where the earth swallows, the living Mammoth Cave in Kentucky stretches for more than 360 miles beneath the surface. It is the longest known cave system in the world. The deeper passages remain unexplored because they become narrow, unstable, and filled with pockets of toxic air. People who enter the wrong area become disoriented and never return. For thousands of years, humans used this cave for shelter and burial. Archaeologists have found mummified bodies inside the system, preserved by the dry, stable conditions. Some are several thousand years old, but the discovery that disturbed researchers most was a body crushed beneath a two-tone rock. The posture of the mummy suggested the person was kneeling at the moment of death, possibly performing a ritual or attempting to access a chamber that was never meant to be entered. Other mummies found in the cave show unusual signs. Some bodies lie peacefully with no evidence of struggle. Their hands are folded. Their expressions are calm. Experts believe these individuals may have willingly entered the cave to die. Native American oral traditions speak of dark spirits that live under the earth. Elders warned that the dead walk inside those tunnels and that certain chambers should never be entered. Explorers have reported hearing whispering sounds when completely alone.
The source has never been found.
There's evidence that the earliest people to live in this valley, some 2,000 years BC, prehistoric Native Americans, made use of this cave. It was a place of interment, for remains of their dead have been found.
What the stone remembers across every continent, hidden beneath forests and mountains and ancient stone, the earth holds its secrets. Doors move in Ireland. Pyramids wait in silence. Tombs seal themselves from within. And in the deepest caves, the dead rest in positions that suggest they knew exactly what was coming. We build our cities on the surface and assume we understand the world. But beneath our feet, there are chambers we have never opened, passages we have never mapped, and remains that no one can explain. The stone remembers what we have forgotten. And sometimes when no one is watching, it moves.